We're very honored today to be joined by His Excellency Jakaya Kikwete, former President of Tanzania, the Right Honorable Moeketsi Majoro, Prime Minister of Lesotho, the Honorable Leela, Dookun, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education of Mauritius, and Dr. Pate, Global Health Director at the World Bank and former Nigerian Health Minister. The pandemic has tested governments all over the world like never before, and many have not stepped up to the mark terribly well. Some have argued that the traditional silo bureaucratic structure of government is part of the problem and is not well equipped to address the new circumstances, which requires a multisectoral strategy where government is continuing to fight the pandemic on the one hand, also addressing the repercussions of the pandemic across all of the sectors, because COVID has been entirely multisectoral in its impact.
Yeah, sure.
And so the question is really twofold. On the one hand, do you agree government structures should be reconsidered and revised? And on the other hand, this idea of a whole government multisectoral strategy as the appropriate approach.
Do I agree? I entirely agree with you. Well, COVID-19, as you rightly said, the impact of COVID-19 is multisectoral. And its response also has got to be multisectoral, because essentially it is a health problem. But you need health professionals to respond. But they have got to be able to, they should be able to be competent enough to be able to respond. But these people need to be empowered, and empowered in terms of the equipment that is needed. There is need for ventilators. There is need for personal protection equipment for them, for the doctors. But the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Health is not a revenue generating institution. You need the Minister of Finance to enable the Minister of Health. But also, it's a multi-sector in the sense that there are so many other players who have got to be to work together, to collaborate, to coordinate, so as to make this response as effective as possible. So working on silos definitely is not in the, it is not the best model when you fight a pandemic like COVID-19. Of course, working silos has not been is not the best model in the way governments are supposed to operate. And when you have a problem like this one, it is even worse. It is even worse. So I agree entirely that governments have got to change ways of operating, and definitely the silo concept of government is not the best when governments are in response to the COVID-19 emergency that countries are now grappling with.
I think COVID is a paradigm-shattering experience, and the political, social, and economic transformation that is unfolding, we haven't seen the end of it yet. It's still unfolding, but I believe it will be significant. And those that come out of it stronger will be those that actually confront that moment and innovate their way going forward in terms of even how they govern and the compact between the people and the state itself, given sort of the information that now everybody has it, how government conducts its business and how it organizes itself. but also how it works with others outside the public sector. So the private sector, as you can see, not only at the national level, but also at the global level. When you think about the ACT Alliance, the ACT Accelerator Alliance, for instance, it's a network of public-private entities working together for a common good. So we're going to see more of network governance than the traditional sort of the minister at the apex, only one, but now ministers working together across sectors, working together within government across sectors, but also with government and other actors to address a common challenge, given that no single entity is able to actually provide the solution that is needed, government or the private sector. That, I think, will be where those who win are likely to emerge. Those who hold on to the past, I think they'll find that the past has gone.
So my question is to you, now that you're in charge, what would you do? What are you planning to do to improve government effectiveness and efficiency?
The Lesotho civil service is it's heavy, 45,000 for a small economy, and that produces very little value for the taxpayers that fund it. So among the political reforms that we are undertaking, the administrative reforms as well that look at the public service. So one of the first steps then in terms of effectiveness of our government is reorganizing government in terms of how do we deliver the services that we have committed to pursue. The Office of the Prime Minister needs to have a more active role rather than leave ministers to define what each individual minister must do. So in the Office of the Prime Minister, we've set up two functions now. One, a results monitoring function, as well as a delivery unit that is focusing entirely on investments and looking at removing investment roadblocks.
I think it's true to say that COVID has really mainstreamed technology for all countries in almost every sector. And as you thinking more broadly, particularly about your role as Deputy Prime Minister and in leading the government, do you think that technology is a way to increase the efficiency and effectiveness of government overall?
In fact, we have done quite a bit as far as technology is concerned. For example, in Mauritius, a bit before COVID we started, but after COVID it has, let's say, it has got boosted up. We have all registration now being done online. We're having tax being paid, you fill in your returns online, and a number of other activities are being done online already. I must say, admissions at primary level, a number of other, let me just let you know what are the other areas where we use technology. And we've got tax collection, we've got courses that are run online. Now, when we talk about efficiency of government, we have the Safe City project, which is also a major project that has been undertaken in Mauritius. We've got National Assembly debate being broadcast online and on TV. So there are a number of areas where we've already engaged in it. But I feel that in the future, it's going to be even more emphasized, more underlined, because, for example, when you go for loans, etc., and this is a bit after COVID, we find now when you go and you apply for loans at the Development Bank of Mauritius, it's a matter of 1 day or two, and you get it. Now, further, after COVID, we have noted a large number of people who started working from home. This is new in Mauritius. It was not in our, let's say, traditions, but now many the ministries are all having quite a number of officers working from home rather than moving to the office for the work.